John Campbell is in redemption mode.
No, make no mistake. It's not revenge he's after. It's a reckoning.
And Woodward Sports is here to cheer on the Detroit Lions every snap. Don't miss a moment of Detroit Lions coverage. Follow Woodward Sports on all social media platforms now.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
What up, though, Detroit? Welcome in the Braylon Edwards Show on Woodward Sports here on a beautiful Monday. In fact, it's so beautiful that Braylon is playing golf.
It's one of them days.
It is, but he's playing it with somebody y'all know. Somebody here in the middle. Another legendary receiver, a Mr. Megatron.
Shout out, man. I saw Calvin and Braylon had some content together, too. It was dope to see two really good wide receivers, man. Great in the NFL
really
is our
good
guy, Mr. Calvin Johnson. We already understand Braylon deserves to be in the College Football Hall of Fame. Get our guy there, man. It was dope to see them being able to talk and also to see Braylon at the Calvin Johnson Youth Football Camp.
And shout out another wide receiver, not as good. Pretty damn good, though. B-Lad out there capturing content and some shag golf balls. How was it out there, bud?
Shout out.
It was nice. It was nice. It was cool to see a lot of the guys that I grew up watching. Got to meet Jason Hanson. Got to talk to
all-time leading scorer
GOAT.
in Lions history.
It was sweet. Got to see Calvin. Got to see a lot of other guys out there. It was pretty cool. It was nice too. It kind of got a little cold at the end, but the front nine wasn't producing. Me and Nance were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, we're not talking about strokes.
More content on the way.
Hey, you know, I gotta say, this young man here, his timing, his luck. I mean, he made it himself. He made this luck himself, but this guy just instantly comes in and he's Braylon's right hand, spending Mondays at the golf course. No, but man, you've been crushing the content. We love having B-Lad part of the team. Kool-AId is here on my right hand, as some would say. Of course, Mr. Sweet Potato Cam making us sound so good.
SPC.
I got y'all.
And then the young legend himself,
Juice. That dude, Justin.
What's up, fellas? Great to be here.
Let's get
here.
to squeezing.
Hey, listen, more on this later, but I got a nice laugh out of Brad Holmes today. I told him, how about another edge? And we both started combusting and laughing, so shout out to Brad Holmes. He's a beauty in person, and I just thanked him for bringing this football team back.
Shout out.
Well, hey, guys, you know the deal. Smash that like button.
Treat her right,
Super
y'all.
chat your stuff
nice.
in. And then share. Please share the stream. We don't have it yet, but we're going to have something for you on Friday, as we always do. So any of those super chats, I will be keeping track and getting them on that wheel
Santa
of
Anson,
fun, the Santa wheel. Now, I got to say, somebody in the studio is really fired up about what they saw this weekend. Now, Kool-AId, this weekend was wild in the world of sports. In fact, I can't say that there is another weekend that registers in my brain like this one, man. I mean, we're talking about New York peasant riots.
Peasants no
Right,
more?
right. We're talking about a hockey team from the South winning a championship in the desert.
Man.
We're talking about
Sell out the legend.
We're talking about American soccer looking good, right? The return of one Tarek Skubal, but that did not headline this weekend's sports action. I'm going to throw this one to young Justin because, Justin, you're fired up over what happened at the White House this weekend.
Oh, yeah, and let me just show you this scene that they had at the White House yesterday. Politics aside, let's take the politics out of the event.
I don't know if everybody could do that.
And it's okay if you can't. I respect everyone's opinion, but look at this first shot. All right, the flyover. What do we got? Is
that AI?
No, that is not AI.
Is that? Are you sure?
We have a 12-plane flyover. It looks like. I didn't count. I'm estimating. Look at the White House with the cage in front of it, and I know what we're gonna get. A lot of gladiator stuff. I understand. Okay, it's not the best look. However, It produced some of the coolest images in the history of sports, okay? And I'm going to run you through some of them because they have to be talked about. All right, so right here, let's go with boom. All right, what better than an American man who walked out of the Oval Office, okay? He was reading the Declaration of Independence pre-fight against the scariest fighter before this fight in the entire UFC. Ilia Topuria was up to being the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the UFC for this fight, and Justin Gaethje gave him a fistful of America.
America!
And look, when you got the look, and look, all real talk, what made it like great for me is watching like the veterans chanting USA, like they got free tickets, they're all up there, and like that is sick to me. Like that was cool, like seeing the veterans, like you can't pay them back enough for their service, and to give them like this moment, like honestly, and on TV, it was the coolest sporting event I've literally watched in my entire life. We got to keep running through some of these pictures. Look at that. Yeah. That is literally horrifying.
Really though? Really?
That is like, he's literally like, that is the White House. Like, are you serious? Like, that is crazy. All right, we got to keep running through these. All right. I mean, 2 times for the flyover. I mean, we got to keep. All right. Look at that. Thomas Jefferson, I believe, in the background. Man. Double belted up the American man. Come on. This is America. Red, white, and blue, baby. World Cup. Come on, Cam.
Why in the
Get
Oval Office,
patriotism.
though? Why in the Oval Office?
I don't know, but it's sick. Look at him.
It's a place of respect.
All right. We got one more.
I'll be the
And this is Sean O'Malley saluting the crowd. Dude was emote maxing into the crowd the entire fight. He literally, like, the guy didn't even hit the ground when he knocked him out. He also knocked out a Canadian, as he should. And before he even hit the ground, my guy just starts saluting at him. And I wish we could show the video, but I hope I'm good enough. He's literally toppling down, and he just starts saluting on him. Like, absolutely so tough. And what an event. One of the best sporting events I've ever watched in my life. That thing was sick. And if you don't, like, look, I'm not getting into the politics side of it.
Oh, we're gonna though.
All right, that's for you guys. I'm not participating because I'm not about it. I'm just about how cool
you support this event?
For 250, yes.
For the 250th anniversary of the United States, this you support. Oh, Cam.
Right,
Cam does not. Now, Cam, you're not alone. Okay? I ain't say that as pissed. Just a pathetic scene. Just a sad political monument. Nah, Justin, just stop. The White House is not a place for sports spectacles. This is just sad. Now, there's a couple other people. Drake Miller says it's just sad. John F. and Lord, on the other hand, USA. Now, I ain't say that says flat out you're a moron if you support this. I'm really kind of curious. My guy, Freddie Felt, shout out. I'm sad that we did not get to cross paths, but we look forward to having you in here. Where are you at on this one? I want to know, Kool-AId, where are you at on this one? I'm going to go to Cam, though. Okay. Do you support the UFC spectacle at the White House over the weekend, or are you a... No.
I'm not about it, Anson. In fact, I didn't even know it was happening until I talked to my mom last Thursday.
Was she fired up?
She was fired up. She was hoping the numbers this weekend for the Stanley Cup Finals, in addition to NBA Finals, would outdo those numbers from last night.
Oh, so she was
rooting against it.
She was rooting against it. Now, why? Because she hates UFC?
No.
Oh, why?
She does not hate UFC.
So why? Why did she want it to fail?
I think it has something to do with our current president, number 47.
Okay. All right. So now we're getting to the root of it, right?
Not about it, though.
So what would you have done?
Well, I mean, as cool as those optics are and the images are like, those captures are pretty electrifying. I just don't like it when the federal government gets into our entertainment world. Like, UFC is supposed to be entertainment for us.
Is this the first time that they've gotten into the entertainment world?
Absolutely
This is the
not.
first. Oh, it's not.
It is not.
It's not. Okay.
But the feds need to stay out of it.
I see.
Get
Randall
the flip
Smalls
out.
never watched a minute. As a veteran, he was totally disgusted. Now, as a veteran of the NBA world,
Yes, sir.
were you disgusted with this spectacle last
I
night?
wouldn't say disgusted, but I was raised in an era where our schools taught us that office represents something. We were taught this. Like, our parents taught us this, the schools taught us this, the government taught us this, the neighbors taught us this, to the point that if you dropped a piece of paper outside of the fences on Pennsylvania Avenue, people are looking at you like you're wrong. And so to see it this way, I'm okay with the event. I think that the location should have been somewhere else other than the White House. That's just me.
Where would you put
the
it?
Spectacle.
Where would you put it?
Maybe in front of the reflection pool, the reflector
Okay.
pool.
Well, there's
You
enough
spend a
press
lot
on
of
there.
money.
Enough
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
press on there, right?
Like maybe somewhere else, but I believe at the White House, it's a particular place for our country's business. And I get you, Justin. We can try to leave the politics out, but when the event itself is literally brought into politics, and then the people in the match bring up and say political things and say inflammatory things, like they said about a former president's wife, that's where it's like we can't just leave the politics out because they're not allowing us to. Even if we just wanted to sit down and enjoy it, some people aren't going to be able to.
It is a very politicized world. Michael Ware, the $5 super chat. The White House is not a place to hold sporting events. 47 needs to sit down and let sports be sports, not a spectacle.
I was okay if he would have did it somewhere else. I don't think that there's a problem with, them doing events, no matter who's
Was it the wrong sport? Because there's a lot of people that say it's tacky. That
Sport
say
and venue.
that it's white trash.
I thought it was
like.
trashy. It does
So
sound trashy.
would it have been better if it was boxing instead of UFC?
No, just keep it all off of the White House
Baseball?
lawn. Yeah. Why
Now,
is
is there a
why
sport?
that location?
Now, that's a good question. America's pastime. What if you have an all-star baseball game at the White House? I don't think people get as mad at that.
I don't know. I think any big
Anything.
sporting
You just can't
event,
do
I think
it.
it gets
Now, if
kinda crazy.
Obama is in office for $250 and he puts an event in the front lawn, does it get all this pushback?
I wouldn't want a hoops game in the front yard.
I would.
I know
You
already.
know.
Are you kidding
We
me?
predicted this already.
Why?
Go look at
Why
Chappelle's
is,
show.
Why is the front lawn
We
of the White
predicted
House
this.
off limits?
Black people predicted this. We already know how at least we would be looked. When Chappelle did the skit, he did that based on what people had been saying. If a black person was in office,
give me
how would it look?
Dr. J
People started
dunking
saying-
on an asphalt court in front of the White House all day. Giant
But
afro,
for years,
please give it to me.
If y'all remember the Chappelle Show skit, he actually did that. And I'm telling you, people was like, that's exactly what would happen. People were against it. Would I like to see hoops? Yeah, but I can't be hypocritical. Not a hoops thing right on the front yard. Like if he had,
Okay,
his
all
own-
right.
if
I'm
he had
holding
his
to
own
it.
UFC
No, I'm
arena-
holding to it. The location is the White House. You pick the sport.
No, the
No.
location
The
in general.
location is the
No.
White House. 250th anniversary. It's happening. Let's say there's a president that everybody loves. All right. Everybody loves this president, and the whole nation says we're playing at the White House. It's a thing now. The 300th anniversary, 50 years from now.
You know what?
I said
what
like
about this? I think Coast Eclipse should have had the octagon at the Pentagon. You just named it
that's
the
kinda
the
dope.
Department of War. That's what I'm not
actually
against it.
pretty
Like I'm
fire,
not
man.
crashing the event.
Right in the inside?
Yeah, I'm not crashing the event. Like I get it. Even if people
What if
want
they
the
had a
politics out.
Pentagon ring instead of an
No,
octagon ring?
no,
just
no.
for that one?
If they're gonna keep it trashy, they might as well done like a monster truck rally or
Well,
like
but see,
motocross.
okay, well, but
said
you-
keep
you-
it
They
trashy.
actually did do Nitro Circus a couple days before.
They did do the
fight.
Nitro Circus there, dude. I was like,
That's how much I've disassociated.
I know you didn't know
Yeah,
about this happening.
no.
I was like, well, actually,
All right,
Cam.
let me tap back in though, because you guys
Please,
are
please.
making me do it. I do have issues with the event though. It's not all smiles and rainbows. Usually, how it is with the UFC. Let's just be honest. You got to cut the shit sometimes, and you can't have fighters saying what they said about Michelle Obama. All right, that should be off limits. And and like Freddie Felt saying, I'm just reading words off a screen. There's some slight propaganda that is being pushed with the event, and that is an issue. So you know what? There is definitely some issues with it, but as if you take that out of it and you're just going to look at it from the angle of a sporting event, and as a fan of the UFC, that was one of the sickest UFC events I've ever the sickest UFC event I have ever watched, and one of the coolest sporting events I have ever watched. That is all I'm saying.
You're from that perspective alone, it's like, okay, if you're going to do it, you got to make sure that you do the daggone thing. And from that perspective, I thought that from a show, it did its darn thing. The clips, the pictures, like even like Cam said, a lot of us who may even say hold it at a different place, I still believe it looked great.
Yeah,
it looked great. Like in terms of the execution,
well,
those things were
spectacle,
dope.
it was top notch.
It was dope, and I get it. You look at some of the scenes, some of the scenery, and obviously our buildings are going to share a little Romanesque, feature. But I think that's where you get some of the people who say maybe the gladiatorial aspect of this, celebrating this on 250th. I think that it's in line with who's the president. I get it. I see Freddie Feld talking about the two portable basketball hoops that Obama brought in. Now, if he had his own little octagon inside his White House, like the house himself that him and his family are in, I don't think that would even be different, similar to like we saw with the portable basketballs. But if Obama literally went out there and had the full-on like basketball right in the front yard for a spectacle for the birthday, like I'll be for real, my parents would tell me at my birthday parties, put the ball down. You know what I mean? It's like, so from that connotation, I don't even think Obama would think to do that for that birthday of America. It's just something I think he would probably do something a little bit more ritzy,
classy.
A little bit more ritzy, but that's the thing though. I wouldn't even say necessarily classy or trashy. I'm not against the event. I'm really not. I just think that make sure, like Justin said, we respect this thing so it can be something enjoyed by all, because I thought that they actually executed it well. But when you get close to politics, you're going to blur those lines sometimes.
Well, and we are all entitled to our own opinions. I will leave you with this, though. If you have an issue with politics and sports, remember who the number one sponsor of all your sports is. It's Big Pharma. Speaking of sponsors, let me tell you about our friends over at Founders Brewing, guys, because they have been the kings of the IPA category for 15 years with their all-day IPA. 4.7% alcohol by volume. That means it's going to pace you throughout the day, but it's the fact that it's balanced, that crispy, refreshing taste. All-day IPA, number one in the IPA category for 15 years. So get yourself some all-day IPA this summer from Founders Brewing, but make sure when you get it, you drink it responsibly.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasta salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new face, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Jameer Gibbs, breakout season, loading.
Inside the 5, Gibbs to the end zone, touchdown!
Woodward Sports, the most dominant Detroit sports coverage around.
Hey, guys, mortgage pros want to change your life. A few weeks ago, we were out there for their 4th annual block party, and they had hundreds of their employees out. The culture there is unmatched. And the fact is they are changing people's lives. They are making their dreams come true. You want to get into that 6-figure salary? You want to absolutely change the future of you and your family's life? Give them a call today, 248-416-1361, or you can find them at mtgopros.com, guys. Welcome back, though, to the Braylon Edwards Show. Braylon is in the sun, knocking a little ball around A little white ball.
He's actually pretty good at that, too.
He's getting real good, man.
He's really good at that.
I mean, dude, the guy is just absolutely racked now from all of his time spent at Planet Fitness. Shout out. That ball does not stand a chance. And hopefully the rest of the NFC North does not stand a chance this year. We had a large portion of Woodward Sports out there today at the Calvin Johnson outing. And our guy Spenny has been crushing it with the content lately, whether it is in person at these events or whether it is the hockey stuff that he's been covering with Justin. He has been crushing, and he got some more of that content today. In fact, I believe you guys crossed paths with Brad Holmes. I think Justin's got some funny stories he'll share with us later, but buckle up, Woodward. We've got a lot of Lions content for you here. And then we do also have 15 minutes with Foster coming up later. Terry Foster is in the building, guys. But Justin, let's get going with that sound from Brad Holmes today.
What up, though, everybody? It's your boy Spen Morax. I'm here at the Calvin Johnson outing with the one, the only, the GM of the Detroit Lions, Brad Holmes. Brad, how amazing is it to see former and past Detroit Lions coming together like this to help the community?
I think it's awesome. Look, Detroit's such a great sports city in itself, and we got a lot of great former athletes here. So just for everybody to come together and just have a great tournament for a great cause like this, especially in a player like Calvin Johnson's name, it doesn't get any better than him, but yeah, it's awesome.
It's truly amazing, and I asked Dan Miller the same thing. It really shows the strides that yourself, Sheila, and Dan have done to bring this family back together with the Detroit Lions. It's just amazing to see everyone working together.
Yeah, no, I mean, collaboration is a big part of what we do. It starts there, and, I think I go by the old saying, I think two people can move a couch better than one person, and so that's just where it starts with. But, if we don't have good collaboration, then we really can't move forward with anything. So, so far, so good.
And we're talking, training camp starting soon. You and Dan have preached competition. Yeah. We're seeing it with the battles for nickel, with the battles for guard spot and different things like that. Yep. How important is it for you to have that fight back at training camp?
Yeah, no, competition brings out the best in everybody. I think everybody knows that, but we'll just see how the chips fall. We're really not done adding still. We're having guys, we're guys bringing in for workouts, so we're going to continue to keep adding that competition. So we're not done yet, but we want to have the best competition possible for depth.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Brad. You have a great day today. We appreciate you.
I heard two words there: culture and competition. Let's start with culture. This is a franchise that was mired in bad, negative culture. Guys wanted to leave here. Former players celebrated with those guys when they did leave here. They had Lions exodus parties. It's a real thing. What we've seen in the 20s, though, with these two guys coming to town, we talk about ad nauseum, the word grit, culture, all of those things. And I think that it's really lost on Lions fans because everybody's so focused on this Super Bowl now. When you fail on a 15-2 season, when you're one, bobbled pass away from a Super Bowl berth, and you look at all of these things, you're so desperate to get back as a fan base that you kind of overlook something because it's in your face every day. And that is the word grit. That is the culture. And these guys have absolutely changed it. Listen, Calvin Johnson doesn't have this outing here 5 years ago. There aren't Lions involved with this outing 5 years ago. This is a guy that wanted nothing to do with the franchise. So it's not just about the culture in the locker room or on the field. It's all of it. It's all throughout the city, throughout the state, throughout the fan base, throughout the organization. And it's really fantastic to have Calvin back and to have him doing these things, to have all of the former players, to have this true culture that we never had in our lifetime.
And I'll tell you this, Calvin Johnson, I get what you mean by being back, but I want to put a different spin on it. Calvin Johnson didn't go anywhere. The Lions wisened up. The Lions went and made better with him and Barry Sanders, and Sheila wasted no time at saying, hey, statue, hey, Calvin, here's your bread. And what I love even more is that he's been doing the camps. We know that. He's been doing the charity golf events. We know that. We've been there over the last however many years supporting these things. Now it's good to see the Lions actually showing up and supporting these things too, these initiatives. And that to me it shows, honestly, a dedication. So when things might not look a certain way, at least we understand these people are true to word. How much could it have been easy? How many times have we seen this team's makeup? But that's just it. Just that initial makeup, the press release from that, and then bada bing, bada boom. No, the Lions are showing residually now that we're here for Calvin Johnson. When we said we brought him back into the fold, when we said we made the amends, this is for real, and we're going to continue to support him. When you talk about an organization and what players can experience and feel when they're talking about signing on long-term with your Detroit Lions for another year and another year, maybe working different deals financially to give the organization the ability to go forward, I think when you can look at people like Barry and Calvin, who they're now treating much better in their post-careers, it makes it a place that you just want to be. Literally just got done talking to Zeke, the legend, and he said it was how the organization treated him, both in his career, and then he understood what would happen after his career. And Calvin, I don't know how much of that he got during his career. There wasn't a lot of people realistically from that front office looking out for their best interests.
No, that's
and so the organization, they have run through a brick wall and not just repairing this relationship, but I believe being there for Calvin. And that to me is what this event means. When you see Brad out there like that in just the kind of regular street clothes, it reminds me of J.B. Bickerstaff showing up to K. Cunningham's AAU event. That was a non-pissing event. So shout out.
Speaking of being there, B-Lad, you were there.
Shout out.
I'm curious, what did it feel like there, this culture, this hot button here for the Lions? What did it feel like? What was the culture like there today?
I mean, yeah, the vibes were high. Even from the start that I got there, I saw the Woodward guys over there doing the remote show. Had a chance to say what up to them. But, yeah, it was just all smiles. Everyone was kind of laid back, it felt like. I got to see Dan Miller. He had a big old smile on his face. Everyone's shaking each other's hands. Jokes are flying around. It was just all overall good vibes. It's something that you would like to see, especially like off the field stuff and everyone together in the same kind of area. It was good to see that,
past and present.
Exactly right. They carry themselves high, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And everything that, they were all in good spirits, it felt like. So it was good to see it's not carrying over, or maybe it's carrying over onto the field. The spirits are high on the field as well. Obviously, we don't know that quite yet, but it didn't seem like they were too out of it, if you know what I mean. So,
yeah, and you know what, Anson? We've seen a lot of these sports teams. We've seen the culture. That's been one of the biggest things. What you're seeing with the Lions right now in terms of how they're treating their former players and how they're treating their current players, have we ever seen a Lions family like this?
No, not at all. I mean, to the point where Braylon is becoming a Lions fan. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just them bringing back in these people.
Because he knew how they used to run it.
Yeah, and it's exactly. And it's not just former Lions. It's literally everybody. You're seeing so many people become involved with this team. I mean, I know another divisive guy talking about white trash, but I mean, Hulk Hogan, the people that this brand has brought in, and I know it's not a great example considering how we started this thing up, but you see,
it's
year
okay.
after
Bray
year,
ripped his shirt off for the legend Hulk Hogan.
Well, and the thing,
this is Bray's show. So
but the fact is they not only have they changed the culture, but they've changed the perception of this team to the point where Detroiters want to be involved with this team. Michiganders want to be involved in this team. NFL people want to be involved in this team. But the other part of that, it wasn't just culture, it was competition. Justin, he talks about adding.
That was my favorite part.
Yeah, he talks about competition and adding to it. Was he talking about going and getting more players? What did you take out of that cut? Because that's something that could get the fan base excited at this point.
Yeah, I mean, you never know with the late cut periods. However, he does seem like this is not the finished product, especially with we're talking about Branch not being back until October. We're talking Kirby by December. Like, that's just not ideal at all. So, yeah, they're going to have to, they have some solid veterans in there, and they're, kind of plugging and playing with what they're going to do in this new nickel scheme. Yeah. But I think that there's definitely going to be some players to add. I mean, you just saw A.J. Espinoza go to the Eagles. I wouldn't put it past them to add another piece to this defensive line, whether that's in the defensive tackle room or in the edge room. I know that there's a lot of people, and, I talked to Dan Miller about this actually, Levi Onwuzurike. People still think that there's a lot in the tank. They love his tape. They love what he does at training camp. He just has not been able to stay on the field. That's a guy that, if he's healthy, they think is going to be a contributor on this team. It's going to be interesting to see how, I think, but if it's anything, it's in the defense. I I firmly believe that they are so set offensively everywhere. Like, their offensive line is going to be back to top 5 form. They obviously have the best skill position players in a plethora. And they got Jared Goff to sling the rock as the point guard. So it's going to be interesting going down the stretch as we get down to training camp. But I do think that, and you saw last year when players got hurt, we looked to the free agent market and we found a couple guys who we were able to plug and play for a couple games. And obviously it's patchwork. There are no long-term fixes, but it's good to have guys that can come and fill in. And so we see with the injuries we have every single year, we're going to need players that we can plug in at some point.
Were you able to ask Brad any questions?
Yes, I jokingly, when I was saying, it was a pleasure talking to you, Brad. I told him, I was like, "How about another edge, though?" And I started, and I did it, laughing, and we, had a good laugh. He gave me a belly laugh, loud laugh out loud. So I felt like kind of raised up our GM. I also told him how I appreciated the fact that he has rebuilt this football team to the best that it has been in my lifetime. Because you can't. You can't just say anything else because he truly has rejuvenated this franchise, regardless of the fact that they have not, performed in the playoffs recently.
Hey, well, we got more from Calvin's outing, more on the Lions here in a minute. But talking about rejuvenating things, you can rejuvenate your body. Tell them about it.
Hey, with Planet Fitness, you guys already know it is the judgment-free zone. Planet Fitness, they have over 50-plus Metro Detroit locations and many more nationwide. If you have the Black Card, not only can you go to any of them, but you can also bring a guest. And what better way to treat somebody than to what Braylon always talks about, that hydro massage. So after you get that workout in, make sure you clean up the machines. Don't make Braylon mad now. Clean your machines and then go hit that hydro massage. But you got to have the Black Card to be able to have that privilege.
Show them the guns, Kool-AId.
Oh, show them the guns. Hey, I got a little bit there.
Bang.
A little bit there.
There
Bang,
it
bang,
is.
bang, man. You guys already know what it is. That's how I'm shooting that 3 from the logo. Right over your house. But when am I working out? Planet Fitness, you guys already know. Judgment-free zone. Get there.
Logo shot.
Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Finally, life-enhancing LASIK surgery at a price you can afford. Michigan's most experienced eye surgeon, Dr. Yaldo, is offering the most advanced LASIK at just $1,699 per eye, regardless of your prescription. Imagine not just being free from contacts and glasses, but actually seeing better without them. This limited 2026 spring offer is thousands less than others charge. Go to YaldoEyeCenter.com for your free evaluation and save.
Join Detroit City FC for a weeknight under the lights as El Paso Locomotive and Ted Lasso's Danny Rojas come to town Wednesday, June 10th at 7:30 p.m. Get your tickets now at DebtCityFC.com.
Whether you're buying a home or refinancing, the team at Estates Title Agency makes the closing process simple and convenient. And you guys already know we had Nabi Saad on this show. Shout out to Braylon's homie. And it was absolutely fire, man. A good person who now I can honestly tell you, not just from the read, not just from being a partner with us here, but from knowing him personally, he's who you want to do business with. He's proudly served Michigan since 2003 with his staff at Estates Title and have over 20 years of experience. Combine that with Nabi's expertise, and they can guide any title or escrow transaction to a smooth landing. If you've ever dealt with that, you already know the headaches that they can be. They know you're busy, which is why they offer evening and weekend closings by appointment, and they will even come complete the transaction at a location of your choice. You can't really beat that. For all your needs, all your title needs, call Mr. Deeds.
Welcome back, Braylon Edwards Show. On a Monday, Braylon is playing ball golf with Megatron. So
ball golf.
Here we are. This is Kool-AId. I'm Anson. Shout out B-Lad, Sweet Potato Cam, and Justin in the building, guys. Woodward Sports, we are down with Calvin Johnson today. We got some great sound clips, and we got another one here, but this time it's our very own Braylon Edwards. As you said it, a couple of receiving legends, and we got some video for you.
I'm not going to ask you about the season, no prediction. I want to focus on the wide receiver core. Just looking at what this could be with J-Mo now, it seems like he's taking the right steps. We know who St. Brown is, Isaac Tesla. Wide receiver core seems like this might be one of the most talented, if not the most talented. I don't want to say it too soon, what you and the boys did with Golden Tate, but just talk about this wide receiver core and what's your expectation. Not expectations, but the excitement.
It is, though. They are expectations from what we've seen. You know, that's how it is. I mean, when we did those things on the field, then they expect them of us every time. So we've seen J-Mo, how he can make plays down the field. He take the short and take it long. Tesla can go up and make a play when the ball's in the air. And we know St. Brown, you know, he can make play anywhere on the field. You know, so those are the things. Those are expectations that we have with these guys. We expect these guys to go out there and make plays. Now it's upon the coach to get them the ball. You know, it's upon the line to do their thing so that the quarterback can get them the ball. It's upon Jared to get them the ball. You know, so it's a team effort. But the receivers in specific, dog, we got a hell of a core.
I will say this, man. Watching the game, I almost thought the jump ball receiver was gone until you see young Isaac Tesla, man. Shades 81, man.
Isaac,
Reverse the numbers.
Young Isaac, that boy got some talent, bro. He's making plays. I'm excited to see him because I know confidence is just brewing in that kid going into what's his year 2 for him?
Year 2 for him.
Year 2 for him.
Appreciate you, man. You know it is Woodward Sports always. Brother. That's what it is, man. Calvin Johnson, Jr. camp. This is 4 years running. He does a hell of a job in the community, and this is what we want to bring. Shout out to the man, the myth, the legend.
Yes, sir.
Shout out, man. Braylon holding it down. Calvin Johnson in the city doing what he always does, putting on. That is a heck of a duel. That's a combo that we're going to have to get together a whole lot more.
Braylon,
I love that, man.
Braylon looking huge, too.
Braylon is ready to step out there and help the line.
I'm telling you, listen, Calvin's
wide receiver 4.
Calvin's taller and probably the majority of his life bigger, but you see Bray standing next to him, and Bray really in the best shape of his life. Before we get into the wide receiver room, there's something that I just really couldn't stop hearing there. It was the word we. If you remember Calvin Johnson, after he left this team, it was the Lions. It wasn't we. It was Detroit. It was the Lions. It was they. All he said was we. We have expectations for these guys over and over and over again. That just goes back to the culture conversation we just had last segment. But I want to throw this one to the wide receiver that we have in-house right now, B-Lad. We've been talking about this wide receiver room a lot. We've been comparing it. I'm going to hold you to it right now. Where do you rank this wide receiver room in the whole of the NFL?
Number 3.
Number 3.
Yes.
Without any hesitation.
No hesitation, and the expectation honestly should be higher than that.
Okay.
I'm talking
Talk
2 or
about
1. Yeah, I mean, based off the personnel we have, and we've seen for the last 3 seasons with them all together fully healthy, that they can put up numbers as well as any other receiving core in the league. I think I would put Jamar and T. Higgins over them 100%. And you could throw Lamb and Pickens in there as well. But they produce the same amount as those guys. And it's just all up to them if they want to, or if they can stay healthy and we can get the ball to them, like Calvin said, and put them in the best situation possible. I don't see them drop. That has to be the expectation, is top 3 every single year, no doubt.
Justin, is he crazy for that?
No, I think he's dead on. This core they only have higher heights to hit. You have Isaac Tesla, who literally everyone who I've heard that is involved in the Lions organization, specifically at the wide receiver position, is raving about Tesla. I mean, we saw the clip of Herman Moore a couple days ago. He was saying how good Isaac Tesla looks and how he's excited to see how he can be integrated in the offense. And then we had Calvin Johnson saying that the kid's got all the talent in the world and that the confidence just needs to build, and he's going to be a good player. To have that guy being a weapon as your wide receiver 3 and essentially open up Amon-Ra St. Brown to truly be a slot receiver, because that's where he is the best. Like, he has the ability to run outside concepts, but when he is in the slot, that is when he's at his best. And so if you're allowed to add a contested catch weapon like Isaac Tesla and line him up on the outside with J-Mo on the other side, you truly have so much weaponry, and your offense is so versatile. And I think Yobila can speak more to this. When you have that many weapons around you that can all do different things at an elite level, it makes you a better player automatically.
And that's the thing, too, and it helps out your offensive coordinator a whole lot, too, because it makes defenses have to scheme up differently against you. Rather, if you only have one dominant guy, it's pretty easy to kind of box him out and take him out of the game. But when you have weapons at quite literally every single perimeter position on your offense, including tight end, it makes it so much more harder for a defensive coordinator to scheme against that. We haven't really seen teams really. They get exposed when you have more than 3 guys. You know, we have 4, maybe 5, including Gibbs, that you can spread out wide and, you know, attack the perimeter with. And it makes it so hard because you can't rush as many people as you want. You can't blitz as many people as you want, because then we could just take the top off. And that's another thing, too, is we have balance. This is probably the first, you know, this regime is probably the first time I've ever seen a Detroit Lions balanced offense in my entire life, if I'm being honest with you. We haven't had the run game nor the offensive line, or just not really that good of an offense in general. But that's the thing. It's just it's exciting to watch too, and I hope we can bring that creativity back, and the offensive coordinators can come up with something to just make it that much harder for defensive coordinators to scheme up against us at the end of the day.
Yeah, we've got some great video in our second hour. Crunch Time boys sat down with Calvin and actually talked more about Isaac Tesla, which I want to get into more at that point. But there's a name that nobody's brought up here, Kool-Aid, and that is one Greg Dortch. This is a guy that's really under the radar right now. You say goodbye to Khalif Raymond, a guy that was huge in the clubhouse. They loved him in the locker room, an absolute leader. Greg Dortch, though, I've always kind of been a fan of this guy. I think that he is a really solid wide receiver 3, but you're bringing him in here to be your 4th wide receiver.
Yeah.
Does that do anything for you to push this wide receiver room above where these guys have him at number 3?
I don't know if it pushes it above number 3 right now, but in terms of that expectation that B-Lad is talking about, I do believe that it gives him a good shot to get there. When you looked at what they knew they had in wide receiver 4, I think that's when this offense, when healthy, is humming along. Obviously, the offensive line has to be there, but I like Greg Dortch. I think he makes them back to what they used to be when they had a solid 4 wide receivers they know that they can go to at any point in time. One thing that Brad Holmes said in that clip about the depth was that now we have the competition amongst our depth.
Yeah.
And that's something we've been talking about too, kind of elevating what they have beyond just the practice squad players. And that's where if you have a guy with wide receiver 3 potential at your 4th spot, you have an opportunity to make a lot work. And then if anybody goes down, knock on wood, then you have some of these wide receivers that can potentially step up and take on those roles.
Exactly right, because I do feel like we are deeper than teams like Cincinnati and Dallas that I've actually ranked above us. Because
I was going to say, I like the depth than the teams above us.
100%.
What are you talking about? Flournoy?
Yeah, exactly.
Like number 3?
I'm saying that we're deeper than them.
Absolutely.
And they have Andres Bocias on
so many
Cincinnati.
people do. Yoshivas, I mean, solid guy, but I mean, like, would he be our 4th here?
Most likely.
At best.
Yeah, he would be in that Dortch role.
And so everybody, when we break down these rankings, it's the top 2 guys.
Correct.
And it's always comparing those top 2 guys. I think that when you involve Tesla on what he looks to become, there's some rumors and chatter out of these OTAs of how he's looking.
Yeah.
If you get that premier 3rd wide receiver, I don't think anybody stacks up. Now, Justin, I got to ask you, because this was something we talked about a lot at the network last year, and there was big debate. Everyone thought that J-Mo had an opportunity to unseat Amon-Ra St. Brown as the number 1 wide receiver on this team last year. I thought that was way too early. I'm not sure that ever happens. Where are you at? Is this J-Mo's year to ascend to the number 1 wide receiver on this team?
I don't think so. I love J-Mo. I think he's a great player, and I still think that he is growing as a player coming off of his injury when he got drafted. His route running is still developing. He's still getting better with his hands. So those are things that could catapult him into that conversation, but I never feel like he will be a true 1 because, yes, when in the big games, he had 2 touchdowns against the 49ers in the NFC Championship game, and when we need a big play, we go to J-Mo. But when we need a consistent first down, it's always Amon-Ra St. Brown or Sam Laporta. So it depends on what you want your number 1 receiver to do, Anson. Do you want your number 1 receiver to be absolutely electric every time he touches the ball? I believe it's 5 or 7, in between 5 and 7 times he touches the ball, he scores a touchdown. And or do you want a sure-handed, which I will tell you right now, I expect Amon-Ra St. Brown to have a better year on the drops side of things this year. I know that he is not, feeling his. He had a lot more. He led the league in drops. That's something that he wears on the chin, and he's going to come back with a vengeance. And I think that he is. I expect him to elevate his game. So I don't think that J-Mo will be the number 1 wide receiver. I think it still will be Amon-Ra St. Brown, but I do expect Jameson Williams to make more spectacular plays than he has made in the previous seasons because he has another year of awareness, another year of contested catching ability, and I think that you're really going to see that on the throws over the middle, specifically when we're in the red zone. Some of those post routes between the two safeties, I think that's a throw that Jared Goff has proven that he can make. And Jameson Williams is going to get better at running that route and making that contested catch in the middle of the field.
I agree with all of that. For me, the J-Mo thing is a no. What we saw out of J-Mo in the second half of the season, he really did become this complete route runner and a overall wide receiver, not just a home run hitter, in the absence of Sam Laporta. Okay. And so Sam Laporta is a big part of what we do. It opens up the run game. But ultimately, when you talk about these four wide receivers, who does the Bengals have? They have a Chase Brown, okay? But do these other rooms have the great wide receiving back that we do in Jahmyr Gibbs? Do any of them have a Sam Laporta? I mean, you're talking about...
they're top heavy, but they don't got it both.
Exactly.
Come on, man. You already know how we do in Detroit.
With Tesla, double D over here. Yeah, but with Tesla taking the jump that everybody's hoping and thinking that he's going to take, you're talking about 5 premier receiving threats.
I'm almost getting scared of what the Tesla hype is sounding like, because realistically, I do agree with Justin. I think Amon-Ra, the workload, the attention, everything that he gets being the bona fide number one longer than J-Mo's ascension, he's getting a certain attention that I wonder if J-Mo was getting just purely that, how does he elevate? But I believe that allows for Jameson Williams to do exactly what we see. He's going out there and he's making big plays. He's making himself available. And as we see him getting better, doing things like going over the middle, it does put him in position to go out there and at least have the stats that look like. But I think with Amon-Ra, it's those kind of intricate things that can get lost in the details or in the shuffle that makes him the number one overall. And that to me is what I think makes this team that much better. Are we looking at now 2 number ones? The way the hype is sounding like, they're telling me Tesla could be like a number 2 and Dortch a number 3. I love the depth that we have at wide receiver, and I love the fact that, hey, I'm going to say it again, during sundress season, our wide receivers, they're filling out the top and the bottom.
Hey, we're going to talk more about it in the second hour. Double D over here, man, lacing him up. The wifey must not be watching today, huh? T. Twirt,
who is me well on the way out the house this morning.
He's glowing. T. Twirt, who is Chase Brown? Man, I hope you don't play fantasy football. Listen, we are going to be coming back, and we are going to have 15 with Foster. We will be talking hoops with the legend Terry Foster. But speaking of absolute rocks,
yes, sir.
Tell us about another one, rock in the community.
I definitely... Man, I don't know why my mind went somewhere else completely. But I'll tell you guys about Black Rock and not any other rocks. Looking for the perfect spot to host your next party or get-together? Head to Black Rock Bar and Grill, home of the Steak on the Stone. You guys already heard me talk about Queen Kool-AId. This is one of the places that we go. We love Black Rock, the way that they treat us, the environment, and honestly, the food. It's epic. The appetizers, you guys already know. But if you don't, make sure you get there, whether it's a graduation party, baby shower, rehearsal, dinner. You guys even saw Braylon celebrate Grandma's birthday there. Your next big watch party, make sure it's at Black Rock. They got the food, the drinks, the atmosphere to make it unforgettable. So book that next event. Find your location that's nearest you at blackrockrestaurants.com. You see it there on the screen. Get to Black Rock.
Dan Campbell is in redemption mode.
No, make no mistake. It's not revenge he's after. It's a reckoning.
And Woodward Sports is here to cheer on the Detroit Lions every snap. Don't miss a moment of Detroit Lions coverage. Follow Woodward Sports on all social media platforms now.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Thrive Energy Pouches give me the energy and clarity to find and beat the shit out of every opportunity that shows its face.
Live and direct, I'm back on set action. Create the wave, we cannonball splash 'em. Light court swinging, get your head shot. Point blank, dead stop. 16 balls in a headlock.
Thrive Energy Pouches are for the people who actually want to win, not for the crybabies out there who are happy with a participation award. There's 0 sugar, so give Thrive a try.
Go.
It has. In terms of seeing you on the desk, it's always great for that. But I am really having a hard time right now with the state of the NBA, with what I've watched over this course of this year, the flopping from SGA, the flailing from Brunson. Saw a lot of really uncalled, untalked about things in this last series, like Cat bringing the fans to crowd, Harper on the inbounds pass, the absolutely easy to see double dribble by OG in the last game where he puts the ball back on the court. But then we're going to get it up on the back wall here in a minute. I want to talk about the crazy odds in it. But am I off in saying that this is the fishiest season that you've seen in the NBA?
I'm going to say you are very off.
Very off. Okay.
And all the things.
Bubble withstanding.
Bubble my ass. No, you're off.
Okay. Tell me about it.
I don't see all this stuff. The whole flopping. Everybody's they're flopping. No, they're getting their asses beat. This is the playoffs. This is the way it's supposed to be. They're knocking their asses down. These aren't flops. They're getting their heads smashed in and stuff, and then we say, they're flopping. No. Have you played basketball? I've fallen and couldn't get up.
My man said life alert.
See, I gotta be honest, man. I thought that they were such an inconsistently called series where you'd see the game be called a certain way for 2.5 or 3 quarters and then just completely change. I honestly, I know I'm sick about it. I hate the peasants, but I really felt like this whole playoffs was just fishy as hell.
Inconsistent.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. And you know what? The Pistons talked about it. They were like, look, if you're going to call it one way, just call it across the board. But they said it was difficult for them to be able to catch up to effective. And I've heard this from other teams, other players too. They said it was difficult for them to catch up to how the referees were reffing the game effectively. They felt like it was 2 different games they were in.
And that happens quite frequently. Sometimes the refs are like, okay, we're not doing it right. So then they adjust too much. You should, if you're fucking up a game, fuck up the whole game.
Yeah.
Don't try to, because they do makeup calls and all that kind of stuff. They've been doing that for years.
Yeah. As I was explaining, I was like, oh wait, no, this is what I remember hearing my parents talk about too. It feels like this is just a ref thing. Now, the one thing I don't want them to do is bring in the AI, but I know that it's on the way. You do know that, right? NBA is bringing in the AI for the challenges. They're talking about replacing coaches' challenges as well as the league-initiated ones. They're going to increase those for what they say, the sanctity and
That's
the integrity.
terrifying.
No, but conspiracy Anson. This is the thing. How bad was it this year? It seemed worse. And then on the heels of it, what do they announce?
AI is programmed by humans,
but
man.
That's what I'm saying. I think that what we saw this year, here I go. You turned me to conspiracy Anson. Dog.
Conspiracy Kool-AId.
We saw it so bad in the playoffs. Even so much that you had players complaining, right? You had whole companies going out there and making the little game board of Shai Gilgeous to the point that they had to send cease and desist. Did y'all see that, the operation game? Like that, it was like turnovers. Shout out to Dylan
Amazing.
Brooks. Amazing stuff. They had all this, they drummed up all this noise for how bad the referees were, right? Just to then come out and say, remember, Adam Silver said it himself. We got AI on the way to save the day. I think our refs are doing well.
But you know what what Piston fans are going to do? They're going to say, well, yeah, you have AI, but that AI company is based out of Boston. Or that AI company is based out of Los Angeles.
It's made in the USA, but where in the USA?
LA? Why can't we get an AI company out of Romulus? That's what they're going to start saying.
No, honestly, that terrifies me because now you get a reason to recuse yourself from being responsible. But the fact of the matter is you're still the one that programmed it. You can't say, oh, well, New York screwed it up. You can't even say that anymore. No, it wasn't the refs that screwed it up. It wasn't New York that screwed it up. It was AI. So now they wash their hands of any liability, but who's programming it? Boston!
And Orlando. And Cleveland.
And LA, for sure. And New York.
You know what is wrong with calling New York and say, hey, we got a little problem here. Can you help us out? That's all you need.
That's all you. Didn't we see the NFL do this for years? We saw them do this for years, and they get it right, man. So I don't know, man. When you talking about this stuff, I didn't think that Adam Silver is just finding a way to sign his next big contract with the AI firm that's going to put these cameras everywhere. I really feel that, and it's going to solve the game. We've heard this with baseball. How long have they been flirting with this stuff to the point that now the broadcast is even more so? They're just doing their own robo-umps and showing this type of stuff. So I believe that sports leagues, conspiracy Anson, I can't believe I let you get. I cannot believe this, but I really believe the sports leagues, they want this.
They do. I really think that they do. But I know that all of Detroit wants something. And that is really why we got Terry here today. I've been wondering, I want to know. Trey Murphy is the name right now. I'm not sure if you're on board with that or if you've got somebody else in mind. Terry, everybody in Detroit, now that the season's over, the peasants are crowned, who are the Pistons going to go get? Who do they have to go get?
Well, I guess my thing is, why would New Orleans get rid of Trey Murphy? And here's the other thing. Sounds like Detroit wants to get him for nothing. You're going to have to pay. Would you willing to get rid? I haven't heard one person say, well, you should give this up for him. Just bring his ass in.
You want Karis LeVert and Stu?
Oh, here we go. Lindsey Hunter and Terry Mills for Tim Duncan.
Yeah.
Are we going to start this shit all over again? My goodness.
That was part of the, let me see, I was going to say, that was part of the discussion that we were having. It was like, we know what we like. We know what we want for the Detroit Pistons, but do they even have any of the trade capabilities to make it happen? Do they, like, when you look at their war chest, that to me is what's kind of depressing, because I believe Stu is their best trade asset at 2 years, $30 million, $15 million a year. But after that, what else do you have? Because you know they're going to say Asar Thompson and Jalen Duren are untouchable. If you're another team, who else do you want off that? You want Dennis Jenkins? You want B-Ball Paul?
Oh, hell no. All right. If we're gonna, that's why you don't want to get rid of him. But if you want, I mean, you here, Detroit. Let me talk to you. If you want a good player, you've got to give up assets. No, don't give him grilled cheese sandwich and a couple of draft picks. You got to give up something. How about this? Are you willing to give up 4 first-round draft picks for him?
That's the big question, because it's 3 right now. But
no, it's 4.
When the price becomes 4, that's the question. Are you down? Because I am. All right. And you know what?
That's all the rest of K's
This is
contract.
so different from what I've always said, because honestly, I just watched the Peasants win for giving up 5 first-rounders for Mikal Bridges. And I'll be honest with you, I think that Trey Murphy is a better player and a better fit.
I was going to ask you that.
Okay, all right, fellas. Are we going to be serious about this, or are we going to play romper room? Are you going to? Do you want to?
That's why we have you, Terry.
Do you want to swim with the adults, or do you want to stay in the kiddie pool?
Let's swim with the
You're going to have to give up 4 first-round picks and maybe a player.
You know what?
Let me grab this. Hold on. Let me pause you. Think about it. All right. We're going to come back. We're going to see if we can't fix these audio issues. And we appreciate you guys. We appreciate Terry. We're going to keep him here because I know you guys all want to know his thoughts on Trey Murphy. You want to switch us over to so you guys can tell him about Thrive over there, or I can tell him about Water Hazard?
Let him know, Cam. Let him know.
Hey, nobody.
Guys, we're on Thrive. Hey, it is time to put down that mid-afternoon coffee. Get on Thrive Energy Pouches. Kool-AId, this ain't your daddy's dip. It is tobacco-free, nicotine-free, mental powerhouse of smart caffeine. No jitters, no sugar crash, 0 bloating. Thrive can be found online at dipstop.com. Remember to use our promo code, though, for 50% off your entire order. That's WSN. Found exclusively at all Market Fresh and Market Square locations. Thrive Clean Energy. They flip and work, y'all.
The Tigers are the best team in baseball. Get the best coverage in Detroit right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Every Scooble start, every green homer, and all the action can be followed on all of our social media. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. It's World Series or bust, Detroit, and we are here for the ride. Woodward Sports.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Join Detroit City FC for a weeknight under the lights as El Paso Locomotive and Ted Lasso's Danny Rojas come to town Wednesday, June 10th at 7:30 p.m. Get your tickets now at DebtCityFC.com.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
Hey, Founders has been doing it for 15 years in the IPA category, but they got something brand new, their very first canned vodka cocktail. And it is water hazard. This is the kind of water hazard you do want to get into. It's a vodka-based cocktail at 5% alcohol by volume, citrusy, refreshing, and gluten-free. It is fantastic, and it goes great with a slice of lime or an orange. Next time you're out, get in the drink with Water Hazard, but make sure you drink it responsibly. We are back, guys, and we appreciate you sticking with us through our audio issues. We are still figuring those out, but we have the legend Terry Foster in here, and we are talking Trey Murphy. I don't remember exactly where we left off, but let's talk about just what kind of a fit that you... I know. We're talking about the difference between 3 first-round picks and 4 first-round picks. Because right now, we have that graphic there of what people are talking about. They're saying that it would be Stu and Holland and 3 firsts. And I'm with you, Terry. I think that there's a lot of people around the NBA that want this young man. I think that he's a guy that can hit the 3, that defends, that's gritty, rebounds, can score on his own. I would imagine that it takes that 4th first-rounder. Are you down to pay it?
Are you down?
Absolutely, because we assume the Pistons are going to be good for a few years. So your draft picks are going to be in the 20s or whatever. So what you're going to be doing is if you are unwilling to give up that 4th first rounder, then you're giving up another Ron Holland. So who cares? So I'm willing to give up 4 first rounders for a guy that's going to help me. Didn't the Knicks just do that?
Sure did.
And Mikal Bridges? How'd that work out?
Worked out fabulously.
Did they win the championship?
I don't want to say, but yes.
Are they having a ticker tape parade in Manhattan on Thursday?
They're having a whole lot more than that in New York.
Ticker tape riot?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Which reminds me, what is wrong with society? In sports, you celebrate championships by burning cars and turning over buses and looting. What sense does that make? I'm happy my team won, and I'm going to go steal some panties and burn some cars. That does not. I can't.
Do you think if the Lions win the Super Bowl, that'll happen?
Okay. When you win the championship, see, that doesn't make sense to me either.
You got me over here cracking up.
Now, in 1984, burning panties, or should you steal panties? When you win a championship.
Love T. Fawcett.
But you can't burn and steal them, because then you steal them and then you're burning them, and then what's the point?
There isn't. There is none.
All right.
I mean, so to me, honestly, Terry, to me, this whole situation, this series defines the world that we are living in right now. You got celebrities speaking out against what's going on in the world, yet they walk past it, and then on their way to their $600,000 seats, and then don't say anything about it while they're burning down their own city. Their neighbors are burning down their own city, and people are complaining because they can't get into games. I mean, listen, if I've been waiting my whole life to see a Knicks game and I can't even get into the building for less than $6,000, I'm going to be pissed too. And honestly, like, how is this that this is where we've graduated to as sports fans, that you have to do this to your city? I mean, this is really where society is at this point. The NBA reflects society.
Correct, but let's look at Celebrity Row. First of all, I'm not paying $6,000 for those tickets. I'm getting them for free, right? And then when you're burning up New York, I don't care, because I'm in my limo going to my $5 million house. And if any of y'all show up even within a mile of my house, I'm getting y'all arrested. So what do they care?
Kool-AId, you making that trade? You giving up 4 first-rounders?
No, because he's scared. He's a scared man.
No. I'll make that trade, but it's for this reason. Cade Cunningham's contract, you got him on this max deal. You're about to sign Jalen Duren to a deal, and you might lock up Asar Thompson. You got those guys now for 4 to 5 years, a core that you believe, if you're paying, is to win a championship. You got to push in the chips right now. If you got to put the 4th draft pick on there, the first 4th one, I'm okay with it. How many people remember about the protections and the this and the that on some of the deals that we made with Isaiah Stewart? It didn't cost us. How many times was Troy Weaver able to go back into the draft? Troy Weaver, a GM that not a lot of people like here, right? Even he was able to go and manufacture extra first-round picks, I think to the tune of 3 or 4 of them in like 4 or 5 years. So I have no problem with giving these up. Why? Because like you said, T-Foss, if this team is supposed to be as good as they believe and where they think Trey Murphy can take them, these are going to be at the low end. You can flip somebody 2 or 3 second-round picks for low-end first-round picks. We've seen this happen. The Pistons have been involved in this. They took 4 second-round picks to give the Cleveland Cavaliers KPJ, who was a first-round pick, if a lot of people don't remember that. And so for me, I definitely am doing something like this. I love Isaiah Stewart. I like Ron Holland. I believe that they're really the core of your fight. But at this point in time, when you're talking about the core of your team, you got to do right by them. And I think Trey Murphy is a guy that will help them. And I know it. I saw it online. Everybody thinks that even this is too much for Trey Murphy, because people say, he ain't even been an all-star. He ain't even made the playoffs. What has he really done? And we're going to give up a lot of our identity and our future in terms of draft capital. I believe you got to go as full-fledged for a championship right now. And if you believe Trey Murphy is that, the 4 first-round picks, they make me breathe a little bit faster, but you got to do it realistically. You got to.
You don't have to breathe. Here's the way I look at the NBA draft. First 15 picks, you might be able to help me. Picks 22, 23, 24, you're drafting for Burger King, because they may not even be in the league. And if they are on your team, they're going to be like your 7th or 8th man, which might help you in the regular season, but these jokers may not even play in the playoffs.
And you know what? Just to back that up, I did hear that from Scout. Shout out to my guy Fred Cofield, among others, people I'm able to talk to, and they did say that. Things have changed tremendously. Before, when you're picking at the top of that draft, you thought, not only is this a franchise changer, but they can help me now. But now you got people who they'll freaking go and draft somebody who they don't even believe at the first-round pick, that they don't even believe is going to be that deal in year 1. They're drafting people now in the lottery based on their overall unicorn potential rather than what they used to do, the most talented player who has the opportunity to be a great right now. And that, to me, is one of the biggest differences between it. And they tightened it. Where it used to be 15, 16, they tightened it up. That 13, 14, if you don't fit that potential, if you're not fitting that kind of 6'9", 6'10", can handle the ball, can shoot from behind the arc, can play in the paint and things of that nature, they're not even looking at you realistically with the lottery pick unless you were just that special of a player. And the older players, we're seeing those guys get pushed down into the 2nd round pick, whereas before they used to be a shoe-in to go at the end of the 1st round because you knew we're getting an experienced player. It seemed like the NBA does not care about those guys. I actually think the Pistons are going to wind up with a good draft pick this year. But then after that, you roll, you ride. I think they're going to be in a good position even if they give up the 4.
Beautiful. I feel like I'm in high school now. We got to pass the mic back and forth to each other, right? All right, I want to address an issue with you. I know you're all freaked out that San Antonio gave up 4 double-digit leads and lost. But and I got to take my glasses off for this. You brought up all these numbers. That's what young kids do. You bring up numbers and shit. But here's what you didn't mention, the human aspect. Here's what San Antonio was doing. They were doing like, oh, my God, these Negroes cut our lead from 50 points to 25. these Negroes cut our lead from 15 to 10, and they're going, oh my God.
That was a hard hole.
There was panic. There was panic on there. Demby panicked. Everybody was panicked. I'm like, they go, oh my God, what's going on here? So what you saw is a bunch of young dudes with talent. Yeah. So you know what? I don't even think the best team won the NBA Finals this year. The more mature team won, because the rest of San Antonio was like, yeah, we got this all, locked down. And then when they step losing their lead, they're like, oh my God, what is going on around here? And I want to tell you, and I know you guys don't want to go old school. I'm going to go old school. In 1989, Pistons are playing the Seattle Supersonics in Key Arena.
Okay.
At halftime, how many points was Seattle up by?
29.
29. They're clowning the Pistons by 29 points. So it just so happens that the media meal room, which I like to go in because I got to get my meal on, it was right next to the Pistons locker room. So I'm walking out toward the court with Isaiah Thomas. And after Seattle at halftime, they jumped up and down like, yes, we got him. So I was talking to Isaiah, and he said, I don't know if we're going to win this game, but it's going to come down to the last possession. It's going to come down to the last 2 minutes because, A, they already think they've won, and we're too stupid to believe we're going to lose this game. So this is going down to the wire. And guess what happened? Pistons scored the first 9 points in the third quarter to cut it to 20. And then when you looked at the players' faces, the Pistons were like, okay, all right, we on. The Supersonics were panicked. They had the same look as the San Antonio Spurs, like, oh my God, what are these Negroes doing to us? And long story short, the Pistons ended up winning the game. It was nip and tuck at the end, but the Pistons won by like 5 or 6 points because they were able to keep going. They knew the other team was already celebrating. And then what you have to do, you have to make a run because every team in the NBA has a run. So what you have to do is like, okay, they scored 9 points, so what? That's not what San Antonio did. They said, oh, they scored 9 points in a row. We can't stop Jalen Brunson. Oh, my God. And it's panic. Yeah, let's shoot some more threes, and let's run 5 seconds off the shot clock. That's panic.
All right, so while we're talking about O's, 3 very offensive players.
Somebody will get it.
Got it.
4 or 5 picks traded for the offense of Desmond Bain, the offense of one Mikal Bridges, and now the offense of one Trey Murphy. These are all 3 super similar trades if this Trey Murphy trade happens. 4 picks for Bain, 5 picks for Mikal, and what we all think would be 4 for Trey Murphy. Out of these 3 players, who do you think has the most value?
You said Bain, Murph, and
Mikal. Yeah.
Trey Murphy, he's been the one that's had that hype when Mikal.
Talk to the chat about that.
Yeah, like Trey Murphy's been the one that's had hype for a few years now. Everybody knew that he was next up. I think people just wanted to see what can Trey Murphy do when the usage is turned up. What can Trey Murphy do when the defense is keyed in on him? And that's what we saw him do this year better than any other year. When you look at his stats, the usage rate for Trey Murphy, though he was very tantalizing prospect prior, the usage wasn't really there. 16, 17%. They got him up over that 20% this year. They put him at big boy usage rate. They put him at, go out there, you're the person who, when teams are rolling in, you're showing up on their scouting report now. And Trey Murphy, the efficiency stayed the same while his stats went up. I did see the turnovers go up a little bit, but the more you're handling the rock, that's going to happen. The assist to turnover ratio largely stayed the same. So he showed and proved that he can handle the next steps. He proved he can handle the next level. This is a guy that you're getting on an ascension. Mikal Bridges was somebody that they thought could be a two-way, not necessarily star, but a stud. Somebody that they knew, look, you're our guy that's going to go out there and chase whoever around that we need. In addition to, we knew the offensive capability of a Mikal Bridges. But all these people had to take a step back. What you're asking for with, to mesh, what you're asking for out of Trey Murphy is bring exactly what you do already really, really good, because we need that next to Cade Cunningham. We need you to be able to free him up. Do you see these other players being able to effectively run the team while Cade is on the bench or while Cade is playing the 2 or the 3 spot? And that, to me, is what makes this even much better. As Mikal Bridges can be a good fit for the New York Knicks in their plans, which resulted in the championship, is the same way that I believe Trey Murphy is a great fit for this current Detroit Pistons team if your core is Duren, Ausar, and Cade. Definitely.
One other thing the Pistons need, an offensive coordinator. When I looked at their offense, it was pretty predictable. Cade would try to do his thing and maybe get a shot off. He would get into the paint, get in trouble, pass to somebody sort of open. They brick a 3. Then next time down, Cade would do the same thing and try to do a lob with Jalen Duren. And then Orlando said, no, you ain't doing that. So, in effect, your offense was stagnated. So what they needed was somebody creative to come up with another idea to get this offense rolling, or maybe it was Trey Murphy.
Yeah, I've never really felt like there's a true X's and O's concept for this Pistons team. I felt like they were trying to figure themselves out last year. At times it was Ivy early in the season, and it was Cade as the season went on. This past season, though, obviously everything goes through Cade. Outside of those, 1 to 2 second left plays that they go for the backdoor oop, I haven't seen a whole lot of X and O work. I love that take. Also, love taking a break to let you guys know about one of our sponsors. But before we do, I gotta thank this guy for sitting in with us, Terry Foster, the legend.
Yes, it was an honor to be here.
No doubt about it, and you guys are honored. Shout out to chat. You guys have been showing them a lot of love. Please keep smashing that like, share it, get those super chats in while I tell you a little bit about our friends from Pure Psychiatry, guys. Pure is they've come along and been a great timely partner for us. They started in May during Mental Health Awareness Month, but don't let it stop you because it's June. If you're dealing with anxiety, PTSD, relationship issues, if you want to just get the ball started rolling with counseling, these are the guys. They don't put together just a cookie cutter plan for you. Everything is tailored to you. They've got stops throughout Michigan, and they've got another 2 locations in Northern Ohio. So get the ball rolling today. Take care of this thing and find them over at PurePsychMI.com.
Hunting season is almost here, Detroit, and your Lions are on the prowl. Make sure you're locked into Woodward Sports for all the Dan Campbell reactions, Jared Goff touchdowns, Amon-Ra first downs, Penny pancakes, Kirby picks, Gibbs big plays, and of course, Jack Fox's leg. Stay locked in on all your Lions coverage right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports.
It's game on at Art and Jake's. Wings, burgers, pizza, and ice-cold drinks served up with attention to detail. Wall-to-wall TVs, great service, and a vibe that keeps your crew coming back. Art and Jake's, a sports bar setting with a fine dining flavor.
This is a hungry bear. This is Carl and Jeff. Carl isn't worried because he has focused energy to spare thanks to Thrive energy pouches. Jeff didn't use Thrive when Carl offered. The bear is happy about that.
Don't just survive. Thrive.
The Tigers are the best team in baseball. Get the best coverage in Detroit right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Every Scooble start, every green homer, and all the action can be followed on all of our social media. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. It's World Series or bust, Detroit, and we are here for the ride. Woodward Sports.
The #1 pizza in the world was created right here 80 years ago. We're talking about Buddy's Detroit-style deep dish. It's not a secret in Michigan, that's for sure, but we want to save you 20% off your next order. When you head on over to buddyspizza.com, you're going to put that code word you see there, that Woodward20 in. That's going to get you 20% off your next order. Or you can also use it on their catering page. You want to have a Buddy's Pizza party this summer? We can save you up to $200. Just again, use that Woodward20 code when you head on over to buddyspizza.com. Welcome back, guys. Audio issues continue, but that does not stop us here. This is the Braylon Edwards Show on a Monday. My name is Anson Wells. Kool-Aid is over there helping the boys out. We are going to get back. We're talking Lions today. We're also talking Pistons. And
That's right.
had an awesome opportunity for the majority of our team to be down at Calvin Johnson's benefit golf outing, Celebrity Classic down there. Braylon's with him. Got a chance to send our guy B-Lad with him as well. Got some very, very cool content. But we also had BDE there, as well as Crunch Time. And our boys from Crunch Time, they got a chance to meet up with Calvin Johnson and ask him a few things.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having us. You ready? I'm Jeff Freddy from Woodward Sports. I'm here with the GOAT, Calvin Johnson. How are we doing? First question, just kind of start off with the event itself. You got all these people gathered here for a great cause. Can you tell the people what the event's for, where the money's going, and how much it means to you for everyone to make it out here?
Yeah, man. The event supports the Calvin Johnson Jr. Foundation. We started the foundation in 2008. We've been doing the golf outing for the last 4 years. I really got into the golf.
Calvin, B-Lad, tell us a little bit more about what your thoughts on this clip here.
So I actually didn't get a chance to see them. I was actually like walking up as they were just finishing that little bit. So I didn't get a chance to see what they were talking about. Unfortunately, I was trying to play around with the audio here. I wish I could have gotten it for you guys, but it's not. It's buzzing B and it's still not popping up. So unfortunately, did not be able to see what they were saying. But it was cool meeting him, though. The vibes were high. Great golf today, I will say, guys. It was. We got some more content coming for you guys as well.
Yeah, I do know that those guys got an opportunity to talk to Calvin today. They talked a little bit about Tesla, and they also talked a little bit about Aleem McNeil. Unfortunately, I don't have the sound on which clip we just played for you, so it was one of the two. One of the things that I wanted to bring up, guys, while we're talking about this wide receiver room, you saw the conversation between Braylon and Calvin earlier in the show. Everybody's talking about J-Mo versus Amon-Ra St. Brown and whether or not he can overtake him. I'm really curious right now on whether or not Tesla can possibly overtake J-Mo, whether Tesla can be that outside X receiver that they start really targeting him by year 3 or year 4. Maybe this is the number 1 receiver of the Lions down the road. Is that crazy talk, B-Lad?
Potentially, but I don't think it's necessarily like too out of the water, as you say. Obviously, it's his second year in the league, so we saw a lot of flashes out of him last year, which was very pleasing. In the last, my father actually grew up in Hillsdale. Went to Hillsdale High School, so I actually knew about Isaac Tesla when he was at Hillsdale, and I knew he was going to be transferring out of Hillsdale eventually in his career, and he ended up doing that. So that was pretty cool. But I definitely think that if they continue to develop him the way that they are right now, and if they keep running a similar offense as far as like these pass-heavy sets, especially running after the pass as well, he's big in the run game, so it also opens him up in the pass game. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if like 4 to 5 years down the line when Amon-Ra is getting towards his like 31, 32 years old, Tesla gets up there around 27, 28, really in his prime of his career. He could have a couple seasons where he is the receiving yards leader. I definitely feel like he has that in his bag nonetheless, if everything develops correctly out of him. But as far as the ceiling goes, it's really, we don't know where it's at, but it's definitely high. You know what I'm saying? Especially after all of the glimpses we had of him last year, based off of the little reps that he had. I definitely think this year they're going to ramp him up a little bit more, get him involved a lot more in the pass game, like we saw kind of later on after the Laporta injury. I think they're going to utilize him quite a bit more this year.
Yeah, definitely. I think things change as well when you see the clips of him. When you're able to go not just with the hype, but you see the opportunities that he had and what he made of them. That's why I can't wait to see what Tesla's career arc is going to be. When you hear all the people that are like hyping him up, these are some of the greatest wide receivers. These are some of our favorite players that we've seen. They're saying, look, and the GM that we trust in Brad Holmes saying like, no, this guy is next level. And that I can't wait to see what he's going to be like. I'm sitting here wondering, do I need to be able to douse a little bit of the Kool-Aid, a little bit of the Tesla Kool-Aid that they're spewing? Because at this stage, if you can show that this back wall, I mean, these are the types of things that we saw routinely from him.
Yeah.
Like his ability to just kind of catch from any slot or angle, it's just been superb, including the ones that he made last year. It seemed like with J-Mo, every early catch with him was a spectacular catch.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. And having these former NFL athletes, not only former NFL athletes, but all-time greats, and we're talking Hall of Famers, they don't blow smoke. You know, that's one thing that even at the competition level that I finished playing at in the NAIA, if we see someone good, we're going to say it. And we're going to be like, oh, yeah, he can play. But if he's not all that, then it's just kind of like we don't really say anything at all. And that I already know that goes the same way for these Hall of Fame wide receivers that we have been talking to recently. They're not blowing smoke. They're not going to give you some false information, going to hype you guys up over someone that they don't think is good themselves. Like they've seen it all at all levels. And that's one thing that you got to take with a little bit of a grain of salt here is they're not giving out handouts to everybody here just because they have played for the Lions or they're a fan of the team. No, like these guys know what real talent is. And I mean, we all saw it. Preseason, he was out here making the craziest contested catches. Every time he got his number called in game, he was making a play. Literally, I don't really recall any plays where it was just kind of something light with him. Every time they got him the ball or the ball was thrown in his way, it was either a touchdown, kind of a deeper hit, or a contested catch that literally looked like someone, like OBJ pretty much, like with the one-handed catches. And that's something that keep giving him the ball, we might see more often. And then, obviously people start talking about it more, and it's going to be exciting.
Honestly, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of pushbacks from fan if you try and say, hey, this Isaac TeSlaa kid might end up being wide receiver 1 on this team.
Yeah.
But you have to remember, this kid 2 years ago was at Hillsdale.
Yes.
Right? What kind of offensive scheming and route running training and tutorship are you getting there?
Yeah, I got a chance to look at his tape from Hillsdale too back in the day, and it was literally just like straight X receiver, go, like contested catch. Like these defenders were not necessarily draped all over him, but there were some catches where I'm like, oh, like this, I was like, this guy actually has a crazy catch radius. Like
the physical tools are there, and they popped at Hillsdale, but
no doubt about it.
They still popped at Arkansas as well.
Yes.
And when you talk about making the jump from a small mid-major like Hillsdale to a big SEC school like Arkansas, the amount of scheme changes and things that you have to understand, like in one season, that's a lot to put on a guy. And there's going to be some growing pains. And then you go from Hillsdale to the SEC to the NFL.
Yeah.
And you talk about that's why this guy wasn't on the field more, guys. It wasn't because he couldn't make these catches. It wasn't because he didn't have the speed or wasn't physically imposing. It's because he was in the wrong position at times. He would take the wrong angle on certain routes. He didn't understand where the soft spots in the zones were to settle down. But he's gonna. And when you continue to see his development and growth, this truly is a guy that has all the physical attributes that if it all clicks for him one day in film room and in the X's and O's, again, this guy truly has the ability to maybe become that X receiver, that one receiver for the Lions.
I was going to say, hey, shout out Anson with the pass. I was going to say, though, what did he come into development-wise? What did he come into offensive room-wise? We had an offensive coordinator who didn't know how to innovate for J-Mo, let alone for what was he going to be able to do to help put Isaac TeSlaa in his best possible positions. There were opportunities and times when we all believed, off of what we saw from Isaac TeSlaa early in the season, there were times he should have been on the field and plays, or at least a target, or at least a thought in times where he just wasn't. Goal line opportunities where you think this is really one of your only people who's going to be able to go up and get it. And they just didn't utilize that, man. But that's why I wonder if the breakdown in the offensive room last year with John Morton getting off to a sputtering start, I wonder how much that set Isaac TeSlaa back. A rookie who, for all the other rookies, and including our first-year coach, we talk about what Kelvin Shepard didn't have because Dan Campbell had to go over to the offensive room. Now all of a sudden you're talking about Isaac TeSlaa, who's a wide receiver. Who knows? We think that he's 2 or 3 or this. We as fans get there. But this is a guy who's coming into this room, doesn't have his coach to put him in his best spots because I believe, though there's things to clean up, I believe Ben Johnson would have found a way to better utilize.
I could definitely agree with that as well. And kind of following up on that, I actually had a chance to go to Paycor Stadium last season to watch the Lions play Cincinnati Week 6. And there was a play in that game, later on in that game, where Isaac Tesla actually scored a touchdown in the front of the end zone, right at the goal line. And it was a medium-sized play. It was probably about over 18 yards, I want to say. But it was a play where I saw Isaac Tesla have one of those option routes over the middle. And this is where you were talking about Kool-Aid, where Ben Johnson could have found stuff like this to happen more often. And as soon as I saw this play, he kind of sat in kind of an open zone, and he found the open window himself. And that was a part of a play where you can scheme your receivers open. And it looked like to me that they could be running that way more often. Obviously, going from the D2 level to the SEC straight to the NFL, you're not going to see him do all this crazy stuff right away. They're going to ease him into it. Obviously, he's been seeing 3 different coaching staffs, 3 different schemes in 3 years. Obviously, you're not going to see it like that. But he read the zone so well, it looked like a veteran move. He sat in the middle of the zone. He had 2 defenders in front of him. I believe one of them was a nickel, and then another one was an over-top safety. He found that slight zone. Jared Goff was able to step out in the pocket a little bit and deliver a rifle right over the middle of the field for a touchdown to Isaac Tesla. He did like the snow angel celebration in the end zone. And when I watched that play, I watched him specifically that entire time. And the way that they schemed him open, I hope we can do more of. I hope Kafka and Petzing realize that, and we have a weapon that they can scheme open all the time. It doesn't matter. He doesn't have to get to an exact route really, really fast and create separation. If he can find a soft spot in specific, defenses that other teams are running, it could be really easy for him. And especially with his big frame, it could be bread and butter.
Hey, the Tesla conversation is a good one, and we're going to come back to it. Give these guys an opportunity to work on the tech difficulties. Appreciate you guys sticking with us. We've got some great super chats we'll get to when we return, so keep smashing that like button. Keep sharing the show. And keep those super chats coming in. We will read them when we return. But let me tell you about our friends over at Supreme Lending. Chris and Chad, these are your allies for home buying season, and that is right now. Whether you're looking for your first home or you're looking to upgrade or you just want to refinance, get yourself in a better term, lower interest rate, these are the guys to call. But call them early. You want to get their input so they can help you early in the process. That gets you a better interest rate, better program, maybe 0% down payment program. But for sure, if you mention Woodward Sports sending you, we're going to save you up to $500 off of your home appraisal. So get in touch with Chad and Chris today. You see their information. They are Supreme. They are Supreme Lending.
The Tigers are the best team in baseball. Get the best coverage in Detroit right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Every Scooble start, every green homer, and all the action can be followed on all of our social media. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. It's World Series or bust, Detroit, and we are here for the ride. Woodward Sports.
Finally, life-enhancing LASIK surgery at a price you can afford. Michigan's most experienced eye surgeon, Dr. Yaldo, is offering the most advanced LASIK at just $1,699 per eye, regardless of your prescription. Imagine not just being free from contacts and glasses, but actually seeing better without them. This limited 2026 spring offer is thousands less than others charge. Go to YaldoEyeCenter.com for your free evaluation and save.
All right, Massage Chair House. We were actually there for the Super Bowl watch party, and you guys have to check it out. It is in Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills, the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest. They carry top brands like Infinity and Osaki, making it the go-to destination for premium comfort and cutting-edge wellness technology. I was not an English major. Don't make fun of my reading. Be sure to visit Dr. Eric Duncan, the Wellness Doc and creator of the #1 YouTube channel for massage chair reviews at The Wellness Doc. Book your visit today at massagechairhouse.com or simply scan the QR code above my head currently. Massage Chair House, your ticket to ultimate recovery and relaxation. And
welcome back, guys. Kool-Aid on the desk here. Say it again.
And
I love hearing that. Shout out everybody in the chat. I'm going to get to your super chats here in a moment. Please keep them coming, guys. Smash that like, share the stream. We really appreciate all you guys sticking with us through this one. Let's catch back up with that. Michael Wary, another $5 super chat. What do you guys think of this for our Pistons? Bennett Sturtz, point guard, Iowa. Young man can handle and shoot, just not an athletic player.
I think I do remember him.
I mean, maybe somebody out of that second round.
Yeah.
I got my eyes on somebody a little more dynamic. If we're going to be getting a guy that's our backup, it's got to be somebody that's more dynamic. Blitz does bits. $5 super chat. Tesla is the big body wide receiver we've been needing. Want him more involved this year. Thank you, boys, for keeping my lawn work entertaining today.
That's right.
Hey, bro.
Get that lawn done,
I
man.
love doing lawn work. It is absolutely a zen place for me. But going back to the Tesla conversation, B-Lad, this is absolutely the big-bodied wide receiver that we're needing. Guys say that, J-Mo's a big guy. Well, he's long, but he's not a big guy. He's not a guy that's going to create space with his bruising, physicality. He's not a guy that's going to bust you up in bump and run coverage. He's a guy that's going to run around you, And then obviously we know what ASRB is. But in terms of the big body target downfield, all that we've had the last couple of seasons is Laporta, and I felt that we really missed him when he went out last year. Tesla, to me, and this goes back to the conversation we had before the break, he has all the physical attributes to fill all the needs that this wide receiver room has.
Definitely. Yeah, and that's one thing, too, is when you can keep your balance in the receiver room, and I had touched on it a little bit earlier, it really makes it extremely difficult for defensive coordinators to defend that and to scheme against it. They're in the film room, and if they see, obviously, you got Amon-Ra Brown that's going to sit around the flats, be your more predominantly slot guy, definitely an impact blocker on the second and third level in your run game, and you got J-Mo that can just flat out take the top off and he's your speedster. But usually if you have a guy, if you're like the New Orleans Saints, for example, and last year they only had Chris Olave, that's easy to and they don't even necessarily have to make it look super obvious that they're completely locking him up, but a defensive coordinator is really good at kind of bracketing those guys out with certain coverages. And when you have a completely balanced pass game, it makes it so much harder for you guys to do that. You got to run man across the board. You got to drop 7 back. You're not going to get a good pass rush. Your O-line or your D-line's not going to get to the quarterback as fast as they usually are when you have more guys that you can spread out wide. Not only do we have that, but we have Jahmyr Gibbs, who we can also spread out wide using the pass game quite heavily, I will say. And to your point too, Anson, is Greg Dortch. We're so deep. That's one thing that really gets me excited is we have depth, real depth now. And I feel like last year and the year before, we had depth, but it was really after St. Brown and Jamison Williams. Yeah, we had Josh Reynolds. Yeah, we had Tim Patrick. That's cool. But after that, it was nobody at the end of the day. And it's someone now that you can also bring out more different packages out there, different personnel groups. It completely opens up this offense to be creative. Like last year, it was so bland, and we saw the same things being ran over and over again. The same tendencies were showed week after week, and it was honestly killing us. I mean, but we know the main reason was the injuries on the defensive end, obviously. That was the biggest highlight there. But the offense wasn't necessarily all that pretty as well. It felt like we were one game on, another game off, one game on, another game off. And it was really frustrating to see. Even the games that we were winning, they were showing the same tendencies as the games that they were getting killed. And that's the one thing that frustrated me the most. And hopefully this year, with the depth that we have in the receiver room and running back room, that they could actually make something shake, be more creative in their offensive tendencies, and come out with different packages that we probably wouldn't ever see. Like, imagine you see Jamison Williams, Greg Dortch, and you have like a more of a speed package out there, you know what I mean? And then you have your big bruiser package where you can get in St. Brown and Tesla. Because I view St. Brown honestly as a bruiser. Like, he's small, but he's still like really physical in the way that he plays. I know his route running is superb, but you get him in that like second to third level in that run game, and he's taking out those backers and safeties. It's actually real cool to watch. So I view him like, put him in a couple heavier packages with the tight ends too with Tesla. So it's it. It's been fun, a fun off season in the sense of looking at it that way, especially being here talking about it, getting to look at it from deeper perspectives. Like, playing receiver myself at the college level, I know how important it is to, kind of just do your thing. And there's a lot of moving pieces involved in the offense, but that's one thing that I like to see as well, getting Tesla more involved, no doubt about it. So.
Definitely. You actually piqued my interest there with that speed and space comment, the different, I guess, more innovative wide receiver and just receiver in general packages that they can put out there as the Detroit Lions. And for me, I wanted to ask you guys this. I know we talk about just like the wide receivers who are your top duos, and I without hesitation, I like that you put them top 3. But overall, these pass catchers, and I'm throwing Sam Laporta in there, I am throwing Jahmyr Gibbs on play action in there. I don't know how many teams out there in the league can really, really, really stack up and measure up to what the Detroit Lions offense can be, especially now that offensive line is back where it's supposed to be.
Definitely right.
Like, I'm looking forward to, because if you get where I believe Tesla is really going to be able to make a name for himself is as soon as Jared Goff goes into that play action.
Yeah.
You think about the way defenses are going to have to roll and cover, and think about not just your wide receiver 1 and 2, but also your Jahmyr Gibbs. That's where I believe that Sam Laporta last year actually was able to go in and have a field day before having that injury, starting about week 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that to me is what I love about the Lions offense, man. So many different options to catch the ball.
Exactly right. And to bring it back to that point as well, is he can be that guy that he can rely on. How many times did we see Aaron Rodgers for so many years have Alan Lazard as like his rely guy? Like, he's scrambling out of the pocket trying to make something happen. He's just throwing it up deep. Like, that's something that we have. And Lazard was a big physical, big body type receiver who can go up and get it. And I think Tesla's ceiling is way higher than Alan Lazard's ceiling. But if we can have him as like a reliable guy that he can just like, a hard count or something like that, defensive ends are crashing in, he could just toss it up. Obviously you have J-Mo to take the top off over the middle, but if you can get Isaac Tesla on a one-on-one match, man on the outside, I'm taking Tesla all day long. And if Aaron Rodgers could do it with Lazard, Jared Goff can 100% do it with Tesla.
Yeah, I think Tesla is a far more talented receiver than Alan Lazard ever was. But it all comes down to connection and chemistry, and hopefully we'll see plenty of that. We already see it with Jared Goff, with everyone that you just mentioned, Kool-AId, because it isn't just about your top 2 wide receivers, and now we do have a legitimate 3-4 room. But when you add in a guy like Laporta, and you look at the receiving ability, the big home run hitting ability of a guy like Jahmyr Gibbs, no one in the NFL has a group of pass catchers at multiple positions the way that the Detroit Lions do right now. Listen, guys, tomorrow we will have Braylon Edwards back. We're going to get back into a lot of these clips, spend some time on them, and replay them for you so that we can watch them with you and break these down when we get Braylon back in the building. We're going to take another break. When we come back for our final segment, I want to kind of talk about the wild weekend of sports that we saw this last weekend. Again, we got 2 new champions. We got riots, burning buses, and we've got another team in the U.S. trying to shock the world, much like another U.S. team did earlier this season. The hockey team did it. Can the soccer... I hear myself. Stick and making moves from the Cayman Islands down there. Listen, we're going to take a break. Dial this in. Keep those super chats coming. Smash that like button. And hopefully we'll have this all fixed up for the final segment. But tell them about Art and Jakes.
Kool-AId.
Mr. Kool-AId.
Shout out to Stick and that dude Justin for getting that figured out.
That's right.
Summer nights, cold drinks, and Tigers Baseball. Maybe they're kind of back. Maybe they're not. But I know where you can definitely go and see it. That's Art and Jake's in Sterling Heights for a Detroit Tigers watch party. Come hang out with the crew as we will be live Tuesday, June 30th at 7 p.m. as the Detroit Tigers take on the New York Yankees. You won't miss a single pitch with over 80 wall-to-wall TVs, 22 draft beers on tap to keep you refreshed, and a menu packed with absolute fan favorites. And if you're there, make sure you find yourself hanging out around Woodward Sports, because we always keep the food flowing. Come party with us, grab a Founders, and watch the Tigers take down the Yankees in Sterling Heights on June 30th. Art and Jake's, a sports bar setting with a fine dining flavor.
The Super Bowl parade in Detroit will be one for the record books. Detroit just does it different. Woodward Sports, your official Super Bowl or Bust Lions network.
Thrive Energy Pouches give me the energy and clarity to find and beat the shit out of every opportunity that shows its face.
Live and direct, I'm back on set action. Create the wave, we cannonball splash 'em. Right court swinging, get your head chopped. Point blank, dead stop. 16 bars in a headlock.
Thrive Energy Pouches are for the people who actually want to win, not for the crybabies out there who are happy with a participation award. There's zero sugar, so give Thrive a try.
It's bear hunting season, and Dan Campbell is hungry for some kneecaps.
If you can just get a hold of them and you start dragging their ass out to the deep, dark abyss, you can drown them.
The Kings of the North are back for another year of the brand new Lions. Make sure you're locked in to Detroit's #1 sports network for all the news and info on your Detroit Lions.
Woodward Sports, let's go.
An absolute pillar in Metro Detroit for over 30 years now. I'm talking about the Yaldo Eye Center. They have over 100,000 successful procedures. Listen, we're talking about
They
LASIK.
even helped Richard Hamilton.
Yeah, dude, always had Richard Hamilton out there. But listen, we are talking about a procedure that's like 8 minutes, painless, and pretty much everybody the next day is seeing 20/20. You're talking about investing in your eyes. You're investing in yourself for the rest of your life. And we're teaming up with Yaldo to give you an awesome offer. You see that $16.99 per eye. Doesn't matter how bad your eyesight is, what your prescription is, they're going to hook you up $16.99 per eye. Head on over to the Yaldo Eye Institute today and get that ball rolling. Again, it's yaldoeyecenter.com/1699 to take advantage of that.
And we back.
Almost. I heard you getting it ready for it. But listen, you got to get your eyes right because you don't want to miss a moment of the Heavy Subathon.
Let's go.
That's right. Friday, June 19th. That's this Friday.
The extravaganza.
This Friday. Get your wallet ready. Okay, guys, because every Super Chat keeps the heavies there longer. You kept them for 16 hours last time. I know you're going to break that record this weekend. They kick it off at 5 p.m., and they go until you say they're done. So just keep those Super Chats going and make sure you turn in to the heavyweights this Friday, the 19th, starting at 5 p.m.
And we back.
There
we
is,
go.
Guys. Welcome back
For
to
real
the
this time.
Final segment. This is the Braylon Edwards Show. We will get Braylon back from the golf course tomorrow. My man to my right is Kool-Aid. Sweet Potato
What
Cam
up,
is
though?
in the building. Justin and B-Lad saving us from our technical difficulties. Shout out for the assist from the Cayman Islands from our guy Stick. But
Mr. Stick.
speaking of assists last night, the Canes were moving that puck around really, really well. They win it in Game 6 in Vegas. But the big story is this Bussy, however you say his last name, guy. Some interesting information about Freddie Anderson, the main goalie of the Canes. It comes out that actually I believe he was the second client ever signed by Claude Lemieux. And he was like a father figure to Freddie Anderson. And with his passing, it sounds like Freddie took himself out. And this walk-on, basically. The very first walk-on ever to have a shutout. This is the first time you've seen a shutout in a clinching game in the Stanley Cup in like 20 years. I want to get the hockey elite back in because I know Justin was fired up over this. The Bussy story of where he came from and what he was able to do, his family in the stands, as we see this epic photo up here of the new two-time Stanley Cup champions, the Hurricanes. Talk about this young goalie and the unprecedented run that he had in the Stanley Cup finals, Justin.
Well, Bussy, shout out. I had to wear my Western Michigan cap for him, former Western Michigan Bronco, 2019
shout
2022. He came in and he was a wall. There's no other way to say it.
Bussy was he was a Bronco?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's even cooler. I didn't know that.
That is cool.
Yeah, and so he came in, and when Vegas was making their final push in the second period, man, he was playing on another level. And that's when goaltending wins you Stanley Cups. Don't get it twisted.
Does.
And on top of the immense depth that Carolina has as a team, it is because Brendan Bussy stood in there, and Vegas outplayed them for a large part of the game. But when you have the elite goaltending that they got out of Bussy, and Fred Anderson got him there and deserves a lot of credit, but Bussy was able to push him over the edge. He was 3-0 as a starter in the Stanley Cup final. That's uber impressive, and to come in and take control of the series like that, he deserves his flowers as the rest of the team as well. They pushed it over the finish line, and Freddie Anderson obviously got him to that point.
Justin, this is pretty cool. I did not know that you went to school with him. You're pretty familiar with his game?
Yeah, he was a Bronco my first year when I was there. We aligned 1 year. My first year at Western Michigan was 2021 to 22. That was his last year as a Bronco. So we lined up. I don't personally know him, but we aligned at one point together, and I watched a couple of his games when I went to Broncos games as a freshman.
So everything that I've heard is that nobody saw this coming for this kid.
He was a guy. He was kind of like he didn't what was going to happen during COVID. He was a COVID kid. That was his second year at Western Michigan was during COVID. So it's really interesting how he worked at Chipotle in 2020, and he's a great story. And he went undrafted, and when you go undrafted, especially as a goaltender, it's really hard to find the opportunities. But he was able to crawl out a couple different teams, a couple different AHL systems, finally lands. And sometimes goaltenders are weird. Sometimes it just clicks, and it just you just become what you were supposed to be, and he's a guy, bigger frame. He has the build of an NHL goalie, and he found it and become. I don't know when his contract is up, but if Carolina doesn't pay him top of the line money, there will be a team that comes around and does. He's a Stanley Cup champion goalie, won 3 games out of 3 games in the Stanley Cup final. That has something to be said.
Duncan Stewart, Western is a party school. I saw a game there in the bowl.
Potsy. Can you confirm or deny that, young Justin?
I from the National Championship
that's right.
extravaganza, I can confirm.
Man,
that was epic.
We all
that was some of the best
content.
content.
We all should have crashed on Justin's couch that weekend.
Goodness gracious. Were there any couches?
They were
couches
were rocking.
There were not couches.
That is true. Yeah, they were rocking up there. At least they weren't burning like at East Lansing.
No, they were.
Speaking of burning things in the streets, the peasants end their 53-year run in the fishiest garbage run of all time. There was a lot of millions made by people that knew the fix was in. They all put their money in right at the big 20-plus deficits and took those great odds. I know that happened because I'm a conspiracy theorist. But let's just not even talk about them. Do you want to talk about them?
I don't want to talk about them.
I don't either. Fucking mad somewhere.
I can't. It's crazy that happened for them, man. I congratulate them. You heard me say Jalen Brunson was on the tear.
Have you congratulated Maz?
You know what?
I have not.
I probably need to.
Should we show the people what?
Yeah, remind the people that they're the peasants.
I'm not alone.
Remind them that they are the peasants.
Coming to you guys in 3, 2, 1.
I love you, man.
Let's give it to them.
Look at that bus.
This is insane.
Yeah.
Like how does that?
Like that, I'm trying to look. I've gotten very excited.
Yeah, same here.
Look, the most we did, Spinny, dog, when the Lions won that playoff game, bro.
Oh, I know. I was down there.
Dog, I'm telling you, the most
madness.
we did was.
It was a snowball fight outside of Fort
Our
Field.
studio might have got trashed. Shout out to Terry Foster. He says we had the panties all over the place, broken bottles all over the place, and everything. We cried, we laughed. You were in the studio. Stick was in the studio. There were bottles. There was stuff in the air. It was everywhere.
Oh yeah,
we knew how to do it the right way.
I went downtown for that game, and mind you, I was about 20 years old. That was the year I turned 21, and we got downtown. Well, actually, first off, we didn't even get downtown because the traffic was so bad because everyone was going downtown, and so if you went to the NFL draft, it was like shoulder to shoulder on every street you walked down there. It was the same way after the Lions beat the Rams that first playoff game in 23. There was literally like a 20-man snowball fight outside of Ford Field, like right on that corner where that Coney Island is. And that entire like little horseshoe right where the tin roof is and all those other clubs that are on that street right outside of Comerica was completely packed. But I didn't see any cars, any buses, any sort of looting or anything like that going on. But I mean, who knows what it would be if we won a Super Bowl?
In
which I do think it might be Gotham City after
in
that.
In 1984, I was driving home with my family from Michigan and Trumbull, and it looked awesome to me. I'm like, Dad, can we stop and get out? Yes. He's like, no, son, we cannot. Now, at the same point, Detroit in 1984, man, talk about where the weak are killed and eaten. We were the murder capital of the world. Comparing 84 Detroit to 2026 New York, that's not a good look for you peasants. Okay?
It's not.
That's not a good look. I know you got your new mayor and supposedly everything is sunshine and rainbows, but listen, I don't care what you won, because your fan base made sure you stayed peasants. And that's all I have to say on that. That's all I have to say on that. Let's talk about our last 3 minutes here. I want to talk about a team that is a joke worldwide, okay? People know we have a good hockey team, but we're supposedly not better than Canada. We're supposedly not better than Russia. Well, we won it this year. Now, the soccer team, well, we haven't been relevant for over 100 years. We talked a little bit about it yesterday or on Friday with Bray. What we saw against Paraguay, and now let's be real. Let's be realistic. Paraguay at best is an average team, maybe a little bit less. They're a middling team, but those are the types of teams in the past. And I've been watching the World Cup since the 90s. Those are the teams that you think they have a chance. They can play with them. They can win, and we lose 2-1 or we lose 2-0. And the fact that we came out there and controlled this game with team play, but then we also had some individual play. Yeah, it's always just been team play. And the days that this team was off, they never had a chance. Yeah. What I saw over the weekend was a drubbing of a team that's not terrible. And we're not talking about a team from Africa that you can't even pronounce that's barely got to this thing. We're talking about a South American team that makes football their number one game.
Yeah, and one of my buddies, he's actually soccer elite. I will classify him as that. Like, he's FIFA elite. And well, this is what he's telling me. And he was like, from my understanding as well, the point differential or the goal differential is extremely important.
That last
so the fact that the USA is +3 on him already is huge. And from my understanding as well, from what he was telling me, is we should win this group with ease. He's saying that there's not a lot of competition in whoever we play next. I believe it's the winner between Australia and Turkey. I believe that's who we play.
Trippy Gypsy in the chat. Paraguay beat Brazil and Argentina to get in. Didn't let in more than one goal their previous 10 games.
Wow, so they're saying it's a good dub.
British influencers saying, start believing in the U.S. team.
Yeah, that's see. There we go. Then that's how you know that was kind of a legit win. And even the whole stadium, like the atmosphere was so sweet, seeing that they were saying it didn't sell out, but it didn't look very empty to me.
No.
But my dad made the joke because in SoFi there's rumors of them like pumping fan music into the speakers because they have no home game. So he's like, well, they're probably just doing that again, or he's just making the joke. But
videos look pretty strong.
It looked pretty solid. I was like, this is good to see. And I believe one of the kids on the USA team went to Oakland University, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember his name, and it's gonna bother me that I can't remember his name. But
I'm sure we can ask Neil tomorrow morning.
Yes, 100%. I wouldn't be surprised. But that's from what I've been told. So, but yeah, hey, USA, big dub, and you guys see Germany as well beat whoever they were playing 7-1.
Routed.
It's like it's kind of like March Madness where those teams get that play in.
I know a couple guys. All right, listen, we're over right now. A lot of the stuff that we weren't able to get to today because of the technical difficulties, we will get to tomorrow.
Still a fun show.
And we're going to do it with Bray. It's always fun when you're here. A lot of people in the chat very happy to see you back and to see you with us a lot. He's part of the team, contributes every day, and you'll see him plenty. Guys, we 22 likes short, all right? I need every single person in the chat right now to just take a moment, smash that like button. I did take all of your super chats and I got them in the wheel. Later in the week, we'll let you know what we're giving away. But tomorrow, we get the big guy back, so make sure you join us.
Let's go.
Of course, we've got the heavyweights coming up in an hour, so stick around for that. On behalf of Justin, Sweet Potato Can, my man B-Lad, and this good-looking ball-knowing son of a gun right here, Mr. Kool-Aid. My name is Anson. This is the Braylon Edwards Show.
Great job,
we will
Anson.
see you tomorrow.
Dan Campbell is in redemption mode.
No, make no mistake. It's not revenge he's after. It's a reckoning.
And Woodward Sports is here to cheer on the Detroit Lions every snap. Don't miss a moment of Detroit Lions coverage. Follow Woodward Sports on all social media platforms now.
Woodward Sports, let's go.